Greetings, comrades. My name is Gigantles, and a bunch of stuff happened. First thing in the title of the video. Basically, I broke my computer. I don't know how I did it, but I somehow did it. As you can see from the picture, I'm not exactly sure what happened. Apparently, I was working on my computer one morning, and literally from one second to the next, the screen, most of the screen just went funny, like you're seeing right now. I did get to I am getting a replacement screen to fix that. It should be arriving shortly, hopefully. It's not the only thing that went wrong with my computer though. So what happened was my computer battery, it was no longer holding charge. I once tried to fill it up to 100%, and I plugged out I plugged it out the mains, and then it took around 5 minutes, and all of a sudden it said low battery warning. It was back to 8% or something. And it's irritating because I tried to keep plugging it in and fixing it, but it wouldn't work. So me and my dad took it apart, my laptop apart. We opened the case and looked at it, and so we got this. This is a swollen battery. Again, I have the new one that I'm using now next to it. As you can see, there's something definitely wrong with this battery here. I mean, it's not the first time I've had experience with a battery like that. Do you remember my old headphones that I took apart? I took out the battery, and for some reason, I wasn't paying attention to the reason, why is this part covered? Why is this not touching each other? And then almost electrocuted myself with that. Fortunately, I didn't take apart this battery. I just left it the way it was. My dad took it. But it was very strange because it's swollen, but you could almost squeeze it slightly. So there was definitely air in there. Batteries definitely should not look like that, okay? If you have a battery that looks like that, get rid of it immediately because it's going to explode. But I got new ones, that's good. Definitely strange taking apart my laptop. I tried to get extra RAM because my computer can be quite slow. Unfortunately, my computer grew too powerful, and the battery wasn't functioning properly because of it. So I had to go back down to my normal slow computer. Bit of a shame that. But other than that, I just got my screen to fix. And I guess one of the irritating things is about modern technology is the throwaway culture, which basically it's in the past, in the movies. Especially people who, I guess my generation would have been one of the last ones to really experience it. You could fix things. I saw a very accurate meme. It basically said, you could go to a junkyard or whatever, get spare car parts, and go with your friend and fix up your car and stuff. Nowadays, your friend would have to work at NASA for that to happen because things are so complex, and some things aren't designed to be almost assembled in a Frankenstein monster sense of way. Which is why if I can get new batteries and RAM and stuff for my computer, but things like a graphics card I can't get because that's integrated into the motherboard. I need a professional to do that, or I just need to get a new computer entirely. Which is a bit of a shame because it's expensive obviously, and I can't continue upgrading my computer continuously. How old is my computer now? When did I get it? I think it's 5 or 6 years old now, so it's an old laptop now. I like to think that she's still got a good few years going in her. We've been through a lot. Me and that computer have been through a lot. Definitely. It's almost as old as my computer is almost as old as my channel. I mean, it is the computer that I started building my channel up on. So definitely we've had some fun times with my computer. Because saying the Easter Lightning culture, me and my friends have made so much progress at that. So there are a bunch of groups that we do moderate and report things to. I try and do what I can, but some of the admins don't listen to me, which is irritating. I sometimes have to call them by name saying, look, can you please get rid of this post because it's heretical or something. But in the groups that I run, okay, that's a plane. In the groups that I run, I collectively moderate maybe, and I'm not taking into account the overlapping, people, multiple groups, but the groups I moderate added up together give a total number of around 360,000 people, which is quite a lot. And in them, I've been doing a lot of work trying to help with the groups, other than just normal stuff like dealing with scammers and posts and stuff. Speaking of which, remember that group I told you about that had a backlog of 10,000 posts? It took me, I obviously took some time off for the weekend, so I didn't do as much, but it took me effectively a little more than 4 days to get through those 10,000 posts. Although again, because I split up, I didn't do much time, even combined over the weekend, because it's a weekend, so I probably would have done a little more than 2 really. But it was funny because at the end of it, I I was going through these posts so quickly that I was then like down to 780 before I realized I can see the number of how many posts are left, and I was just going through it quickly. And around the 300 mark, Facebook was saying you've done this too many times, so we temporarily blocked you. I ignored it. It's just something they do when you use something too much. For instance, when I comment too many times saying insert admin name here, post cultist found, insert admin name here, cultist found. I usually do stuff like that, and then Facebook says you've commented too many times, so we stopped you for 24 hours. I'm like, okay, fine. But it was for the last 300 posts. I just kept having literally every time I was like accepting or declining these posts, it kept saying Facebook blocked you, Facebook blocked you, Facebook blocked you, and I powered through it and got to the end. And even for the rest of the day, Facebook kept bugging me. Like literally everything I did, I could just scroll around and it would tell me, oh, you've used this too many times. It was definitely worth it because I'm not joking. I got over 400 to 500 cultists found in the pending posts, and I removed several thousand posts by those cultists. So good job. We did a good job. So overall, that has compiled our list of cultists that we have now. We've compiled around 1,700 cultists, so that's quite a lot. If this were a village, I joked about it before with my friends. We have enough to make a village, and we're going to call it Cultania or something. I don't know. Maybe help me come up with names for this imaginary village or cultist or whatever. Okay, help me come up with a name for that. But definitely got a lot of cultists down now. A lot of the names. Definitely done a lot of the posts, and dormant cultists are going around finding them now. It's irritating because I think there was a cultist name called Ling Li, and in one group there were 3 people with that name. So I definitely got a lot more than 1,700 cultists on that list, because there are people out there with the same name. But point is, I'm going through these lists. I'm trying to do what I can with these 360,000 people I'm trying to moderate here. We're doing a good job dealing with a lot of scammers and stuff, but we're making progress. Definitely making progress with that. Hopefully, on my end, on the YouTube front, we can help moderate that. We can help bring awareness to that, make better progress with that. So again, I keep saying progress to these signing cult, but again, 360,000 people possibly being me between the cultists and 360,000 people. That's a lot. If we can all take responsibility, maybe not that much each, but if we can all take responsibility as admins and moderators in dealing with these signing cults on Facebook, then we're definitely going to help a lot of people. A book I am reading at this point in time is my mother's copy of The Crucible, and I was reading this book, and like literally when I was reading about because the author Arthur Miller, he was married to Marilyn Monroe. When he wrote this book, it was in the middle of the Red Scare, McCarthyism. So if people were accused of being slightly liberal, or if accused of communism, then there was a whole investigation launched into them, like a whole smear campaign. People discriminated against them and everything. It was a horrible time. But something I noticed when I was reading about that, and he was drawing comparisons to that and what he wanted to get across the message in The Crucible, how these people could turn on their friends and neighbors and respectable people so quickly because there was some hint or suspicion about them concerning witchcraft. And I thought about that and I realized, isn't that like cancel culture? Which is quite concerning because actually it's not much of a surprise to me, really. I mean, I've already been drawing parallels between McCarthyism and the witch trials with the cancel culture as it currently is. But it goes to show that effectively man never changes, really. If we're still willing to smear campaigns against people just because they think differently or they act differently, or if we don't have a full case, then we even have questionable sources or witnesses or whatever, then we're just going to end up having a repeat of it. Obviously, there are people hanging or burning with the witch trials, but I mean, so hanging with people burning with cancel culture. But there's definitely smear campaigns and stuff going out there, which is a shame. Again, we've never really changed. People moan about how all these, over religious zealots and everything in the witch trials. You may hate religion because of the witch trials, but those of you supporting cancel culture are no better than that. You're doing the exact same thing. It's just that you're not using a religious front for it. Because obviously, fortunately, we Catholics don't have to worry about the witch trials because we didn't take part in any of that. In fact, the Catholic Church banned the witch trials. They said that they were pointless. They were nothing more than mob rule and everything. We had the Inquisition. I mean, Spanish Inquisition, that's another story because the Spanish government took over that and the Pope tried to say, no, stop it, you've gone out of hand now, but they ignored him. But our Inquisition, although we investigated like 150,000 people, only 3,000 to 5,000 people executed. But those were not just simple those weren't like in the same those weren't in the same settings. When we had the Inquisition, it was actually in a court case. You know, we had lawyers, we had defendants and everything. It was handled properly. That's why we had such a low execution rate. And the people who were executed, they were not executed because of some sort of cancel culture thing. It was because of the heresies that they were supporting. Okay, we weren't executing them because they were scientists or anything. No, we were supporting them because of the danger of heresy. Any theologian who knows about the Cathars and the Waldecinians, I believe that's the name for them. Anyone who knows about that will know about the danger of endorsing in heresy, given how cultic you can get. And so when it came to the Inquisition, things were handled a lot better. I don't know why sometimes I keep these videos out so late. But at the end of this video, I'm just going to put the scene for... It's one of the old videos I was meant to release. I kept forgetting to, unfortunately. It's almost, I guess you could say, a sequel to my Infinity Cheeses video from last year. Let me tell you this now. I love cheese, okay? I love cheese. You're going to see why in a second. Greetings, comrades. My name is Gigantos, and as you can see from the title of this video... Well, okay, if you're a cheese lover, this video might or might not be for you. If you just love eating cheese... Okay, and you just love eating because cheese is awesome, then you may want to watch this video. If you're like a cheese connoisseur, you probably don't want to watch this video. So, if any of you have been around for my channel for a while, you remember last year I made a video called the Infinity Cheeses, which basically I had a whole bunch of cheeses on me. I can't remember which ones it was, but I think I had 7 or something. I had 7 cheeses at a time, and I finally broken that record. And I'm gonna show you exactly what I mean by that. Okay, just give me a minute to set it up. Okay, so here we go, guys. Okay, it is recording it. I have to hold this at a certain angle, otherwise it won't work. And the thing is, the focus will shut. Basically, I have myself a whole selection of cheeses here. Don't mind my drink. This is some Robinson stuff. Just, you know, lovely juice. Anyway, so this is now my awesome cheese collection. What cheeses do I have? Well, firstly, I have some mozzarella cheese here. It's mozzarella. You can't go wrong with mozzarella. Some cheddar here. Cheddar's like the basic cheese from Britain, it really is. There's some Gouda here. The lovely Gouda slices. Need that a minute. We have this. I have some Emmentale from the Netherlands. I think Gouda and Emmentale are from the Netherlands. Yeah. I have some more Dutch cheese, but Dutch smoked beechwood, which is really nice. Lovely stuff. And here, I guess this is what you would call the abomination. This is Tesco's 4 cheese tortelloni. In it, and I have to get a list for this so I can remember. In it, there's apparently mozzarella, I don't know how you do Italian accent. There's also pecorini romano, provolone, and mascarpone, along with some grana padano, you know, the grated cheese. So I've got 5 cheeses in this one piece here. Lovely. Now, obviously, you can probably guess what's going to have to happen here. You're all going to hate me for doing this, but it needs to be done. Okay, I may not be the hero you like, but I'm the hero that you need. So, what I'm going to do is the red stuff is just pimenton added, spiced pimenton. You get that in a chorizo, it's very nice. So I'm going to have 5 cheeses here in this one piece, okay? 5 cheeses. I'm going to take a bit of Emmentale. Okay, I'm going to put that on here, on this fork too. I'm going to get some Gouda and put that on here. Don't worry, I will eat all this, don't you worry. Probably not the same way as I'm doing this because it takes too long, but I will. Then I put some cheddar on it, right? Okay. Then I get some the Dutch smoked beechwood, especially the crust. I really hope you can eat this because I've been eating it ever since I've been eating the brown pie ever since I got it. And some mozzarella. So I don't know why I do the accent. Okay. Captain can do a lot better accent than I can. Okay. I don't know how I put this without it falling off. Okay. I just put it on hope for the best. Yeah. Okay. So what? That is how many cheeses? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 cheeses. So we beat our record by 4. No, 3. Well, actually we beat it by 4. Here's why, and you're gonna hate me even more for this. Have you ever been to Tesco's or Sainsbury's and never seen the instant pasta and macaroni? Or pasta and sauce? Well, yeah, well, a little while ago, when I was having some, I think, what was it? Smoky pancetta? Very nice. I decided, you know what if I added some of that cheese from the sauce onto it? Now, apparently apparently the packet labels this as cheese powder, okay? So, there, lovely cheese powder, and there's little bits of pancetta in that. I mean, that's a piece of pancetta. Not much. Okay. Oh, that's dry. It's very salty too. Now, what I'm gonna do... Oh, that is salty. Oh, okay. I'm not... I'm not gonna add salt to that. Okay. What I'm gonna take a pinch of this, and I'm just gonna sprinkle it all over this. Sweet naturals, that's strong. Okay. So, on this one fork, we have 11 cheeses. I mean, I know it's two types of mozzarella, so it counts, okay? So, 11 types of cheeses. Let's see how it goes. I just want to say, that's actually not that bad. Like, it genuinely isn't bad. I mean, the Dutch Beechwood one, that one, actually, let me get a drink first. The Dutch Beechwood is the strongest out of all of them. It is the strongest. Honestly, I could barely taste the Gouda and the cheddar and the mozzarella. I could taste the Emmentale, the 4 cheeses, and the Grappadano. They were sort of like their own like pseudo 5 combination, and I could taste the saltiness of the cheese powder over there. But this stuff is the strongest cheese out of all of them. I'm not even surprised. No, I'll never do that. I'll never do that again. Not because it tastes bad, because genuinely, I'm being honest here. I'm being honest. It tastes fine. The problem I have with this is that I'm not going to sit there and load up my fork with one of every cheese before I bite down again. That just takes way too long. Wow, okay. I'm going to have to somehow get through this meal now. That's it pretty much for this video. I'm getting a haircut tomorrow, so I'm going to be looking back to myself as I did last year. This hair unfortunately wasn't long enough to require the use of my neck scarf as usual. As I used to, bro. But you know what, that's fine. I mean, my hair's already quite long. Yeah, it may take a few more years, but then hopefully once I grow like my big beard out as well, I'm gonna look like I'm gonna look like geologists. For some reason, always have these magnificent beards. I'm gonna have a magnificent beard, magnificent head of hair, and for Halloween I'll go to a party dressed as Moses or Noah or something. God bless you all. See you next video, comrades. Until then.